Asihlabela mgama, imvula ezimandla ke ziqhubeka ukwenza umonakalo kwisithili sasemupani. Ezimvula ke zonakalisa indlela iblorho, nto leyo ke ekhokeleke ekubeni kuvalwe nezikolo. Ukanti ke khona ke mbukeli khona namaziko angakwazanga into yokubana afikelele, bambezela ke abafundi kulonyaka umtsha wokufunda. Ezi zikhukhula mbukeli zichaphazele amakhaya amaninzi, zonakalisa nombane, ukanti ke aboncedo olukhawulezileyo basaphonononga umonakalo okuthe kwenzeka kule ngingqi. Noxa kunjalo ke abahlali bamemelela uncedo ngokukhawuleza. Intatheli ke ye-SABC uKatlego ungxangile ngokusinabisela ngeenkcukacha ezithe vetshe. Katlego, masikubulise sikwamkele SABC Lehae. Zibhlungu kakhulu ezindaba ziqhubekayo. Ngicela nje usinike ingqokelela yokuqhubekayo ingakumbi kummandla waseTzaneen.
Kholosa ka ge le bona ga jana re mo lefelong le bidiwang Bolobedi kwa ntlenyana ga toropo ya Tzaneen, mme ka mo morago game fa le ka leba sentle thata go na le noka e tletseng e bidiwang Molototsi, mme noka eno e kgabaganya mafelo a le mabedi, lefelo la Modziloni le lefelo la Mamataka. Mme ga jana baagi ba mafelo ano ba retelelwa ke go ka kgabaganya noka eno ka ge le bona go na le leborogo le e leng gore le putlame ka ntlha ya dipula tse maatla tse e leng gore di tlhola ditshenyegelo mo kgaolong kgotsa setikatikwe sa Mopane, gape le setikatikwe sa Vembe mo porofenseng ya Limpopo. Re bone mokhuduthamaga wa lefapha la merero ya selegae Basikopo Makamu le tonakgolo wa porofense Phophi Ramathuba ba tshola kopano ya tshoganyetso go leka go ka fitlhela tharabololo tebang le dipula tse maatla tse e leng gore di tlhola ditshenyegelo. Mme lekala la tsa boemo ba bosa South African Weather Service ba kaile fa dipula tseno di tlile go tswelela pele go tsorotla go fitlhela mo mafelelong a beke. Mme ga jana baagi ba le bantsi kwa mafelong a amegileng ba itemogela mathata. Re bone lefapha la thuto selegae porofenseng le itsise gore bana ba seke ba ya dikolong ka ge ba tshwanetse go ela tlhoko, gape le baruta bana ba tshwanetse go ela tlhoko ka ntlha ya gore dipula tse maatla tse di tlileng mo lefelong la Mopane le lefelo la Vembe di tlhola ditshenyegelo. Mme ke tlile go buisana le bangwe ba baagi mo motseng selegae wa Modziloni go utlwa maikutlo a bone tebang le seemo sa ga jana. Mama, le ka re rebogela nako ya lona mo SABC News Lehae. Le ka re tlhalosetsa gore lena le le badudi ba mo Modziloni seemo se sa ga jana le se bona jwang?
Re le ba wa 7 ka mokana ba rena o thoma ka Mamakata Makurubeji ra bothata ka mogale maraga ka mo ara le borole wen re na le maboro a Iphondo ke Mamakata ke Makurubeji ke ra bothata ke maraga re ame ka mokana ba rena esikitaba ka wa 7 a rena maboro ka mokana ba rena ba dile la sebata ba sebe ya ka gwa Makurubeji fo le boro ba le boro le buile ba no le tota la cheliwa re sebolo le do cheliwa lene re be re khopela le hore ba mama masibala wa Lehae ba re magele bolana ka lebaka la re ndwendwela zikolo zibudwe bana ba tsiboya zikoloni bana ba balla go ya phaka dibugu re toka jao le a rena marotho a rena selo le maobi a do re felela re kena mo re ka buta wona ra bona lurodi ya bana ka taba ya jao le re kopela le re ba re ndwendwela le borena ba re magele bolane o re bula e kena at least ba re diele le borora le ba re huligule le bona re khono ba botse ka lebaka la re ya balelwa ka mokana ba rena re toka jao le re bona re ka mkhwana re tsore ke dala su re mo en go ra re dila ka rona ma da rena ma da ru da dala tsore ke dala ro bela re ba re thuse ba redo
en le borogo le mama e tla gape le senyegile neng le borogo le tsereneng ke merwalela e
le borole le tsenyele o duela ka mogibelo bula e thomile o na ba se ka mata ka mogibelo le tsenyele o duela ka mogibelo o dile mayara wa borena Dagma a da lebelela ka moeni a fetsa a zamaya a ya lebelela ka kwa tase wa khetha ke lebelela mo o tsenyele wona
Thank you, Mama Ra leboga. O tlhalosa gore go tlile mayor wa lefelo le la Greater Letaba a tlile go lekola seemo tebang le merwalela e leng gore e tlhodile ke dipula tse tswelelang pele go na tse maatla tse leng gore gape di tlhola le ditshenyegelo. O tlhalosa gape gore ba itemogela mathata ba tlhoka ditirelo mo lefelong le mo re begang gone dikgang gompieno. O tlhalosa gape gore ba tlhoka dilwana jaaka dijo tse leng gore di tlile tswelela go ba thusa mme ke tlile go buisana gape le mong wa baagi fano ke kopa le abotumele abuti Tshepo. Tshepo, just tell me, how bad is the situation in your area?
Yeah, the situation here is terrible. Children can't go to school, people can't go to work, they are struggling, we don't have food. It's a lot of challenges that we are facing. Businessmen come and look the challenges, but they are struggling to fix. So it's very difficult. Children can't go to school. Sunbakes, bread, we can't eat. We don't have anything to take or to take it at home.
And I see the road conditions in this village are really bad. We are not able to really drive around with a vehicle. So is that also affecting the rate of service delivery?
Yeah, it's affected because if you have a car, you can't go that side, you must park somewhere. If you have relatives, maybe the rain came and you don't have the road to go that side, you must sleep at the neighboring villages.
What sort of help do you need from the government? There's going to be an emergency meeting today with the Premier as well as the other MECs and the mayors. What help do you need?
The challenges that we need bridge, proper bridge, so that our children can go to school, our parents can go to work. We have many shops that side. That side we don't have shops. That is why we are struggling to buy. Yeah, if we can get a proper bridge, I think we will be sorted.
And do you think enough has been done to help areas like where we are in Bolobedu, because we see it's a very steepy area, almost in a floodplain. Do you think they're doing enough to help communities like yours?
No, I think it's not enough because we have people at the department and the municipality came, say whatever they are saying, say they will do anything, but they are failing. It's been 5 years, children are struggling, we are struggling. Yeah, nothing has been done so far.
All right, we hear your concerns, and certainly this is one of the community members here, Tshepo, talking to me there about some of the challenges and the concerns that they essentially having, saying that they would like to see more government assistance coming to them as a community. Also saying that they would like to see more boots on the ground, essentially from the main, department, sister department, say that the roads in this particular area are inaccessible. One more time, I'll just maybe briefly step out of shot so my colleague Llewellyn can show audiences what is currently happening. So that is the river there, and it's currently flooded. As you can see, there's communities on the other side of another village that is called Mama Taka, who are not able to cross essentially into this village because the bridge here has collapsed, and people are essentially not able to make movement in between the two areas. So for now, I'm going to then hand it back to you in the studio as we continue to monitor developments around this area. Kolosa.
Yeah, I'd like to know if maybe on your side, you are seeing any response from disaster management. Are they reaching people on time?
So that's a question that we've posed to the spokesperson of this particular district, the Mopani district municipality, that is Odasungowe, and he's saying that they are busy compiling an assessment report, also which will include a financial report on the financial implications. So in terms of the disaster rescuers, they're saying that there are already more boots on the ground. These are rescue emergency workers. We've seen videos of some of them pulling those that have been trapped from flood flooded rivers as well as streams, pulling them out. We are getting reports also that there's going to be some form of a rescue mission that will be led by the relevant authorities around the Giyani area, which is also experiencing major flooding. They're saying that they will try also to evacuate people whose homes have been collapsed rather due to this extensive flooding. So certainly rescue workers are indeed on the ground according to the district municipality. As to if that number of district rescue workers is enough, that's a question that we are going to pose to the MEC responsible for this department, that is Mr. Basikopo Makamu. He's going to be conducting an urgent meeting right now, which is our next location. We simply have to rush there very shortly in Giyani because we are currently in Bolobedu to get some of these answers that he needs to respond to in terms of the boots on the ground, the rescue workers and the disaster workers. Kolosa?
Yeah, Katlego, earlier on you spoke with the gentleman and he said that, I mean, the rate of service delivery is greatly affected. And we do understand, Katlego, that a number of schools, remain closed because roads are also, flooded and inaccessible for both learners and educators. Do we maybe know the number of schools that are affected by the floods?
Well, the total number of schools that are affected by the floods, they've not yet determined, because what they're saying on the statement, and that is the Provincial Education Department, is that schools in areas that are heavily flooded, where both teachers as well as learners feel unsafe, must remain closed for the duration of the heavy rainfall. The overall number as to the extent of the schools that have been damaged or that have closed has not yet been published. We know that this flooding affects largely the northern eastern part of the Limpopo province. That includes your municipalities like Bapalaborwa, Twilamela, Collins Chabani municipality, Musina, as well as Makado and the greater Giyani area and the greater Iindaba area, which is where we are. But I can certainly tell you that the number of those schools is quite sizable. Yesterday we've not seen any learner going to school. Even the area where I am at, you can see there are young children who've also come to this river banks, indicating that indeed schools are not operational at this particular moment. Konosa?
Katlego, we do understand that communities often rely on solidarity. I mean, I heard the gentleman saying that, they cannot even drink water at this point. Are there any calls for donations, to the public? How can they really assist affected individuals in this case?
Certainly, water accessibility remains a very peculiar challenge. Not only do some communities struggle with access to water and that they are deprived, but however, Mopani district is one of those districts in the province where access to water in areas such as Giyani remains a huge problem. And now with this ongoing rainfall, there is contamination and it's very difficult for workers to be able to extract clean, drinkable water to be consumed by ordinary residents. As you can see, some of these water is brown in color, indicating a very strong soil corrosive forces. So with the soil erosion and the corrosive forces, it's quite difficult for the municipality or the water implementation body to be able to extract clean, drinkable water that can be consumed by residents. As things stand already, these areas are particularly facing quite serious issues when it comes to the delivery of services, your roads, your clinics, as well as now, access to clean drinking water. So it is certainly a problem. The municipality is aware. Speaking to the spokesperson in the morning, he indicated that they are working around the clock to try and ensure that large water bodies that provide water, like the Nsami Dam and the Zanin Dam, are not contaminated and that they are able to extract clean drinkable water for residents. Kolosa?
And I mean, Katlego, this disaster, it certainly points, to deeper issues like infrastructure, housing, and preparedness. But I mean, I do want to know, because I mean, schools have already reopened. I mean, it's exciting for other learners in other provinces, but it's quite sad and it's horrific for the students in the area. Have you maybe spoken to them directly, those that are affected, and what is their response?
Yes, we certainly did speak to learners that are affected by this torrential rains, and they do mention that it is worrying for them that they are not able to go to school currently, that they would like to, start the year, the 2026 year, running in terms of their studies, and they're able to then get back to the swing of things. They are certainly concerned that maybe the duration or the lengthy duration of the rainfalls might necessarily impact on their studies. Some of these learners in these areas are in grade 12. They were excited that they're about to start their grade 12 and, live up from the expectations that were left behind by the class of 2025. And now their academic year starts at a slow, and they're not able to necessarily go to school at the start of the academic year. We'll be making follow-ups by returning to these areas that have been affected to speak to those kids just to get more of their views. But for now, they indicate to us that they are a bit worried that they're not able to really start the academic year on a good start. Kolosa?
Yeah. Earlier on, Katlego, you did mention that there's going to be an emergency meeting with government officials. I mean, who do we expect there, and what are the biggest concerns that the residents are actually having? And I mean, do you perhaps know the time?
So those emergency meetings have started already happening. This will not be the first emergency meeting. We've seen several of those meetings headed by the MECs for Education, as well as the Premier and the South African Weather Service. So there is going to be a meeting shortly after 10 at Giyani, which is where we really need to rush to, where we are going to get the MEC for Kwakta to tell us now the distances between these areas are quite vast. So we certainly do need to rush there and get the MEC for Kwakta. That meeting is starting just after 10 a.m. at Giyani town, which is also affected by the floods. So contained in those meetings are local mayors as well. Contained in those meetings are ward councillors, church leaders, and all these stakeholders are going to come together in a bid, of course, to try and find a workable solution. Also compile a report highlighting the financial implications. Konosa?
Yeah, it's exactly 8 minutes to 10 o'clock. Let us relieve you, Katlego, so that you can go to that emergency meeting. But thank you so much for that update. Right, Bugeliwe SABC.